In May 1979, 6-year-old Etan Patz was allowed to walk the 2 short blocks to his Manhattan school bus stop alone for the first time. Tragically, he never arrived at his destination. Within days, the search went national, moving with a scale the city had never seen. His face was printed on thousands of posters, describing a boy 40 inches tall, weighing 50 pounds, and last seen carrying a blue cloth bag. His photo soon became one of the first to appear on milk cartons at breakfast tables all across the country. The investigation eventually drew in the FBI and spurred Congress to pass new laws that created a national hotline for missing children. Etan's disappearance effectively ended the era of the unsupervised walk to the bus stop. In neighborhoods like Soho, that 2-block journey, once a standard rite of passage, became a symbol of a risk parents were no longer willing to take. In 2012, authorities interrogated a former neighborhood convenience store clerk named Pedro Hernandez. He told police that he had lured the boy into a basement with the promise of a soda before strangling him. After 2 trials, a jury convicted Hernandez of murder and kidnapping in 2017. For Etan's father, Stanley Patz, the verdict was the conclusion of 38 years of searching. But in July 2025, a federal appeals court stepped in and threw that conviction out, completely overturning the entire case. The court ruled that the confession used to secure the guilty verdict was obtained in a way that violated established constitutional protections. Because of a procedural error in the interrogation room, the resolution the Patz family had finally secured was legally erased. The court's decision centered on Hernandez's specific psychological profile. He had a documented history of mental illness, a low IQ, and a history of experiencing hallucinations. In 2012, detectives interrogated him for roughly 7 hours without reading him his Miranda rights. Only after he had already confessed did police read him his rights and turn on a video camera to record it for the record. During the 2017 trial, the prosecution relied heavily on those secondary, recorded confessions to prove Hernandez was the killer. Splitting an interrogation into an unwarned session, followed by a recorded one, creates a legal danger zone. It risks producing a coerced confession, particularly from a suspect with Hernandez's psychological history. The 2017 jury struggled with this exact timeline. They were conflicted about whether the recorded confessions were truly voluntary, given the 7 hours of unrecorded questioning that preceded them. The jurors sent a written question to the trial judge. If the first confession was involuntary, should we disregard the subsequent confessions? The judge's answer was no. This document outlines the Miranda warnings, which exist to protect a defendant from self-incrimination. The Second Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that the judge's no contradicted federal law, which states that an initial coerced confession can contain everything that follows. Because the judge failed to correctly explain this law, the court concluded that the jury's verdict was unfairly prejudiced, making the reversal mandatory. The Manhattan District Attorney now faces a choice. They must either start a 3rd trial or let Hernandez go. Hernandez's defense is calling for the charges to be dropped entirely, arguing that investigators should instead refocus on the original suspect, Jose Ramos. This ruling places the emotional reality of the Patz family in direct conflict with the requirements of the Fifth Amendment. The justice system is built to prioritize procedural rules over the public's need for an answer. If the state secures a conviction by breaking those rules, that conviction cannot legally stand. The ruling means that when the legal process is compromised, even in a case this prominent, the certainty the Patz family thought they had is gone.